Oh shit, here we go. Lonely Island. Oh wait, no. Wrong intro. um. Oh, there's confirmation. Right, we're live. Give me 1 second. Alright, there we go. Before that shit goes down. Hey everybody! Welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood Edition. What the fuck was that? Was that just the fire effect in the background, or... I swear to god I just saw a couple flashes on my screen. Don't fall apart on me now, fucking HDMI cables. This is a little sus. Anyway, let's pick up where we left off last night. Don't worry, no more scratchies today. That took up like 10 minutes of yesterday. That'll become a thing once I play this on a more, like... I don't know. Casual basis? Is that a way to put it? Wait, are they both on the same? Oops. Whatever. Yeah, I'll do that off stream for now, but once I'm done with the marathon, then sure. Maybe I'll make that like a weekly thing. With the jumbo cacpot. Maybe one day, you know. One day. Win the jumbo. You imagine there's probably somebody out there who's been playing the cacpot, like, since it came out and they've still never won. It's 4 digits. The odds of winning are still very low. They're not as low as, like, the lottery that I know of in real life that is, like, fucking 8 digits. There's no way you'll ever win that. And if you do, you're, like, the luckiest person in the universe. So it's kind of sad to know that the few people who have one that should usually squander all their money in, like, a year or less. It's like, how the hell do you throw away $300 million or something and end up back where you were? I guess it really is just... It probably really is what that comedian said, despite how harsh it is. Forgot his name. It's on the tip of my tongue right now. He said... Because if... He said if the people who won the lottery were financially responsible in the first place, they never would have been playing... No, if they were financially responsible, they would never have been playing the lottery in the first place. I was like, damn, I guess that's true, isn't it? Holy shit. I mean, because, you know, you hear those stories of people who win the lottery and then they immediately squander everything. It's like, that's gotta be true. Anyway, let's get back into it. There we go. What's up, everyone? I read all this last night, yeah. It's a good refresher. What's going on? The Empire's moving again? Right. We saw people here who are, like, terrified of Yotsuyu because of what she used to do, and she has no idea because he's lost her memory. Alright, I love Alpha, but the time's come to put him away. Because, like, sometimes when I'm trying to target an NPC, I don't know if you notice this now, it targets Alpha and I'm trying to target someone else, so... I'm kind of like, alright buddy, you gotta go. Storm on the horizon. See what's up. I thought we were gonna get a voice theme. While you were out searching for Jifuya, we received word from our shinobi allies. An Imperial airship has been sighted over Doman soil. Really? That's, not good. Our visitor's objective remains unclear. There may be another attempt to recover Yotsuyu, or a prelude to invasion. Either way, the craft reportedly advances at speed and appears bound for Castrum Fluminus. I mean to go there and ascertain their intent. If we ride out in force, it will only end one way, so we shall keep our numbers to a minimum. Yugiri, Leon, can I count on you? Yes, my lord. Of course. Let's do it, buddy. Alize and I would fain play our part as well. We will not stand idly by while a common foe threatens the lands of our friends and allies. We would be glad of the help. You are acquainted with Hakuro, I believe? Then I bid you seek him out and assist in maintaining order in the Enclave. When the people see an Imperial airship, they are liable to panic. I would have you reassure them and should it come to it, aid in their evacuation. Very well. We shall depart at once. Do take care. What of me, my lord? The Empire may well be after Yotsuyu. You are to remain here and guard her until my return. As you wish. Pray stay close to Leon and Yugiri. Well, well. Guard duty and not a breath of protest. Now I have seen it all. To cast from Fluminous, then. Let's find out what the Empire's game is. Let's... Marginally closer. Time saves a time save. Doma is ill-equipped to deal with an aerial offensive. Should the Empire be so minded, the Zayla's flying mounts would be our only hope. Like last time? The area is secure. Whatever our visitors' purpose, they plainly believe they can achieve it alone. The craft should come into view at any moment. Let us await them inside the castrum. Alright. Oh Lord, they coming.
A smoke signal? Thoughts, Yugiri?
In former times, such signals were used to announce the coming of an emissary of peace. In Doma, at least. But could that truly be their intent?
Who can say? Whatever they want, we cannot simply blast them out of the sky. Not when they were so gracious as to honor one of our cherished traditions. I would not have it said that we Domans want for propriety.
Then I shall go and reconnoiter.
I've heard that...
Nay, that won't be necessary. We will meet them openly. I would welcome this student of Dorman history in person, whomsoever he or she may be.
As you wish, my lord. I shall arrange for a signal of our own to be fired in answer.
I was gonna say, I've heard that phrase or term, sorry, that term spoken in two different ways. Reconnoiter and reconnoiter, I've heard. Maybe it was a different word though, I don't know. That's just similar. No idea.
Well, that we should be received by the Lord of Doma himself.
I but afford an emissary of peace the courtesy he is due. Welcome to Doma, my lord.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who's this asshole?
Ah, where are my manners? I am Asahi Sus Brutus, Ambassador Plenipotentiary of Garlemald.
He is heir to the Naiuri clan, and Yotsuyu's stepbrother.
It seems I need not introduce myself. Not in the presence of the famed Yugiri Mistwalker. Your skills as a shinobi are known far and wide, my lady. It is true. The former acting viceroy is my sister. Yet, bonds of kinship aside, we have precious little in common. As will soon become plain, I come not to sow strife, but to end it. I am of the Populares, a collective which represents the interests of the common man. Long have we labored to bring about reform to the Empire's provincial policy. Happily for us, our master acknowledges the need for change. Indeed, His Radiance, Emperor Varys Zos Galvus, personally sanctioned this mission, granting me the authority to speak with his voice. To negotiate peace with Doma.
Well then, we have much to discuss. Will you accompany me to my hall?
Gladly, my lord.
Popularis. A lot of their terminology is derived from like the ancient Romans and stuff. So I'm gonna look this up. I say, I stand in the presence of the fabled Aton Slayer? What an honor. Lord Hien is magnanimous in victory. Given our nation's troubled history, we did not expect such hospitality. Peace. After all they have done, never has the word rung more hollow. Right? Yeah, because they had to run away with their tail between their fucking legs, right? Optimates and popularis are labels applied to politicians, political groups, traditions, strategies, or ideologies in the late Roman Republic. And it's of or relating to the general public or suitable to the majority. The common man, like you said. So I guess to put it in more modern terms, it's the closest they would come to having a political party similar to that of, and I say this with, it sounds hollow, I know, but similar to that of like the Democrats, essentially. The closest they come to that. Which is nonsense, but that's another discussion. Well, actually it might become relevant here. We shall escort our guests across the river to the Enclave. Yugiri, pray go on ahead to the Yuzuka Manor docks and see that the ferries are ready. I say it with reluctance because it's like, yeah, traditionally most people recognize like Republican right wing as mostly representing rich people, which is absolutely true, and the left wing Democrats being the ones who represent the common man. But in all honesty, when you look at their actual actions, they're kind of the same breed, honestly. It's not really a left or a right wing. At least not in modern day America. Not anymore, anyway. It's like just kind of a hard right wing and a soft right wing. Well, we'll see if they're any different. The Guardian Popularis. A hard and soft right wing, but they're just two right wings. I have read much about the architecture and geology of Doma. Words do not do it justice. Such scenes of devastation greeted us on our journey here. The bitter wages of war. Yeah. Upon disembarking, we will proceed directly to my home, where we may enjoy some privacy. Sounds good. You agree? Lord Hien and I will accompany the Imperial delegation on the first ferry. When you are ready, speak with the boatman and join us on the other side. Alright. So the boat's just slightly too small for... It's just big enough for all of them, but not big enough for me. One person too many. Just slightly over capacity if I tried to get on the same boat, huh? All are free to travel in and out of the Enclave. Do you seek passage? Yep. Thank you, my good sir. I have an Ethernet now. Look at this. Holy shit! Reconstruction is coming along nicely, huh? I mean, it has been a while since we've been here. They've made some progress. Not deep enough to dive into, but okay. Looks like Ishgard Firmament 2.0 or something. Hey, look! They're here already. Man, this is some slow-ass mount speed in this place, though. That person's been grinding MGP. Probably during the event, too. Or it could be someone who already had that mount a long time ago. That mount is 2 million MGP. Even with the event that's happening now, it's, it'll still take a minute to get that mount. In fact, I could be wrong. I think it might actually be 3 million MGP. I don't know. A Sabbath Tender mount. I kind of want the one under it, though. The, what's it called? Fenrir mount? The non-motorbike version of this, basically. The actual Fenrir Wolf. We saw it, it was the boss for, that dungeon before, Lady Iceheart, way back in Realm Reborn. Or post-Realm Reborn, I should say. Before Heavensward, so yeah, that was a long time ago. Reclamation box. The residents took the news of the Imperial delegation well enough. It should be business as usual. So it's to be a peace negotiation. I'm curious to see what the ambassador brings to the discussion table. You and me both. Thanks to Master Alfino and Mistress Alizé's assurances, the people are reacting calmly to Imperial presence. Lord Hien has requested that Master Alfino and Mistress Alizé also be present at the negotiation. Fair enough. There you are, Leon. So, first things first. What do you think of the Enclave? I must say, I'm quite proud of what my countrymen have accomplished in the time. Yeah, it's quite a bit, actually. You guys even have an Aetherite and an Ethernet set up? We even have an Aetherite now, courtesy of the Onishisu. Be sure and attune to it, would you? Once it has the Warrior of Light's seal of approval, people might actually start using the thing. Yeah, even you motherfuckers. But on to the matter at hand. The ambassador and his retinue are at my hall, taking their ease ahead of the negotiations. I want you there when the talking starts. It will serve to send a message to the Empire that Eorzea and Doma stand united. I'm not normally one for hollow posturing, but in this game of nations, such gestures carry weight. Yeah. I can see that. Okay, so you want me to represent Eorzea, along with Alfino and Alize. Oh, and should you feel uneasy about speaking for the Scions, Alfino and Alize will also be there. You need only eat, drink, and look imposing. Say you'll come. Look imposing, he says. I'll be there. I knew I could count on you. When you are ready, come and join me at my humble abode. The Kindkin, that's what it's called, I guess. The guardsmen will see you in. Alright. Time to look as imposing as I can, I guess. For what it's worth, I guess, right? Lord Hien is expecting you. May I show you in? Sure. Sunglasses always add a small layer of intimidation. You can't see what kind of eye expression, what kind of look somebody's giving you. Oh, this is probably gonna be voiced, so.
On behalf of my delegation, I offer you my humblest thanks. Never did I imagine that I would meet the gallant and noble Lord of Dorma himself, nor be welcomed into his magnificent hall.
You'll forgive me if we forgo the pleasantries. You say you are come to negotiate peace. Unless I am mistaken, such negotiations are typically conducted between sovereign nations. I was not aware that the Emperor had recognized Doma's sovereignty.
His Radiance has yet to do so, that much is true. Know, however, that he has expressed willingness to cede Doma to her ancestral masters and treat with her as a friend.
Straight down to business, I was gonna say.
Since the days of Emperor Solus, the Empire has aggressively expanded its territory. While you may not agree with our founding father's policy of expansion, I believe there is room for discussion on the matter of his lifelong goal, to rid the world of icons. Icons are a blight upon this star. They cannot be suffered to exist. This you know as well as we. In his wisdom, Emperor Varus wishes to explore the possibility of an alliance to combat this common threat. On the condition that Dorma renounces summoning and pledges to police the Korgians' practice of it, his Radiance would extend the hand of friendship.
Doma has never shown any appetite for summoning, and it should go without saying that we will address any threat to our people, icon or otherwise. With regard to the Korjin, I must stress that they only resorted to summoning under extreme provocation. When the Ruby Sea was at peace and their sacred relics safe, they looked not to their kami for protection. Yet even now, there are certain parties who would destabilize the region with ill-conceived military forays. Unless they alter their course, we cannot hope to be rid of icons.
Hand lurking?
Quite. I can but apologize. In seeking to eliminate icons, the Empire creates them. 'Tis an irony among ironies, one with which the people of Eorzea are well acquainted, I am told.
Indeed. Many summonings are the result of persecution, the weak being driven to call upon the divine for deliverance from the strong. So it was in Alamigo. the bitter fruit of Garlean oppression.
A tragic state of affairs. If we are to put an end to summoning once and for all, it shall not be through might, but harmony. Yet we continue to repeat our mistakes, oblivious to the lessons of history. My comrades and I would change all that. We, populares, have campaigned long and hard for a shift in imperial policy. And at last, the Emperor has seen fit to lend us an ear. Alas, there is a faction within Garlemald that would obstruct our every attempt at reform. A collection of pure-blooded Garleans who seek to consolidate their own supremacy. The Optimates.
The other word we just saw on the Google search.
Lest you wonder, theirs was the hand that loosed our forces on the Confederacy. 'Twas a regrettable incident, one that flies in the face of everything we believe. And I swear to do all in my power to prevent a reoccurrence.
That would be most welcome. But if I may speak plain, if the Empire itself is not of one mind, how can we be certain that any peace we negotiate will be honored?
I cannot blame you for doubting us. Indeed, I should find it strange if you did not. And so, in the name of building trust, I would like to make a proposal. A prisoner exchange. Under Garlean rule, no few Dormans were conscripted into the Imperial Army. We would repatriate them in return for those of ours you captured in the recent conflict. Naturally, any exchange would include the acting Viceroy.
Yotsu? What makes you think we have her?
Forgive me, my lord. Was it not your wish to speak plain? Let us not play games. I desire only to work to our mutual benefit.
Oh, wow. It's a soft chirp.
The Optimates tried and failed to take my sister by force. I would succeed by peaceable means, thereby strengthening my party's hand. 'Twould be a lie to say I would not also be glad of my sister's safe return.
A fellow plain speaker. How refreshing. Very well. Your proposal has merit, but I will need time to consider it.
Of course, my lord. May we remain in Dorma until you have come to a decision?
You shall be our honored guests. Yugiri, I leave the ambassador and his retinue in your care. See that they are well looked after.
You have our gratitude, Lord Hien. We shall look forward to your answer.
Political negotiations. They can seem intense on the surface, or rather, they can seem pretty calm on the surface. But when you understand what's going on, you can see the intensity of it underneath it. Especially when, with those subtle facial expression changes, when somebody says something that's like, doesn't quite sit well with one or the other party, you know? Yeah, so I just looked it up during the scene. Yeah, the Optimates is the aristocrats of Rome. So essentially, yeah, like, it's a good parallel to what I was saying earlier, the comparison I made earlier between, like, in modern-day America, the Republicans and the Democrats, the Optimates and the Populares, basically the same thing, more or less. One represents the upper class, the other one represents the lower class, but, as I also said, with the caveat I also mentioned earlier is that, at least I can't speak for any other country, because I'm mostly just familiar with American politics. When it comes to American politics, you know, saying that the Democrats represent the common man is really not that true anymore, and it hasn't been true for a long time. As I said, it's not really the left and the right wing anymore, it's more like the hard right wing, the Republicans, and the soft right wing, the Democrats, as evidenced by their actions. Like I said, it's been that way for a long time. More than most people realized, but more people are starting to come to that realization in more recent times. It's starting to become more evident, or self-evident, I guess you could say. Whatever Lord Hien's decision should be, I shall abide by it. Yet, I would be glad to welcome my lost brothers back to Doma. Yeah, the ones who got conscripted and taken away to Garlemald, I'm guessing is what he means. The fact that there are two opposing factions at work in Garlemald complicates matters. Even assuming Asahi and his associates can be trusted, what of the others? Yeah, exactly. Now imagine if there were like, some of the European countries that have like multiple parties instead of just two. You know, something a lot more democratic. At least a lot closer. Again, I'm not super familiar, so I can't really speak much about other countries, but I've heard of like parliament and stuff in other European countries, and it sounds a little bit more diverse from what I've heard. That the Empire should send Yotsuyu's stepbrother of all people. I wonder how he feels, the son of Doma returning home to speak for the oppressors his countrymen drove out. He kind of gives off the vibe he doesn't really give a shit. Like, the vibe he gives off is like he's fully committed to Garlemald, like it doesn't really affect him. Sure, you know, the name and the way he looks and everything, it looks like he's from Doma, and indeed he is, obviously, if Yotsuyu's related to him, but like, he didn't carry the vibe of someone who, like, would call this place home anymore. But I don't know. He seems fully committed to Garlemald, if you ask me. That's what I'm saying. Well, that was unexpected. You can say that again. I still don't know quite what to make of it all. But on the surface, a prisoner exchange does seem a good way to begin. The question is, can they be trusted? They had naught to gain by divulging the details of their internal divisions. As it stands, we have no reason to doubt them. But the ambassador's mention of Yotsuyu left me ill at ease. It made his grand talk of peace seem uncannily like a lengthy preamble. True. You think this might all be a ruse to facilitate her retrieval? Perhaps. But I cannot fathom why they would go to such lengths. Yotsuyu may have been the acting viceroy, but she is not Garlean, nor even Highborn. Her value must presumably lie in what she knows. Which brings us to the little matter of her memory loss. In her present condition, she would not yield any worthwhile intelligence, nor is she worth much as a bargaining piece. Alphino, you are well acquainted with the Empire's methods. I would have your thoughts on this matter. My knowledge is at your disposal, Lord Hien. While the Ambassador's proposal is appealing in principle, it would be remiss of us to not to give it due scrutiny. Very much. Indeed, though it seems to me I have little choice but to accept regardless. With so many of our brothers and sisters languishing in Imperial camps, I cannot well turn my back on a chance to secure their repatriation. Or repatriation, however you say it. May the Kami know when I will be afforded another. But ere we continue, shall we excuse these two? I fear what follows will bore them to tears. Who? Me and Alize? I was just about to show myself out as it happens. Come on, Leon. Let's leave Alphino to dispense his copious knowledge. She's like, politics, am I right? Fuck this, let's get out of here. Someone is still sore from being made to watch at Sakazuki. That too. Go on and keep Alize company. We are safe enough for now. Again, I think it's also still a matter of what I said, like, she's just not into this whole bureaucratic political shit. You've more than earned a rest, my friend. Leave the interminable bits to us. Dude, he's got an enormous hit circle over here. Whatever Lord Hien's decision should be, I shall abide by it. Yet, I would be glad to welcome my lost brothers back to Doma. Of course. Worry not, Leon. We shall take care of the rest. Go on and keep Alize company. Alize? A chance to relax at last. I know when I'm out of my depth, Leon. So no weapons are drawn, and negotiation is no less about, and the stakes can be every bit as high. That's exactly what I was trying to say right after the cutscene ended. About how it can look very passive and laid back on the surface, but it's actually very intense, you know? Political discussions and negotiations like that. That is very true. She nailed it on the head. One misplaced word and people could die. It takes someone with a cool head, and I'll be the first to admit that's not me. So we're left with the eternal question. What to do while they prattle on? Yeah, what the fuck do we do? His forgotten home. Alright, for want of a better suggestion, what say you to a brief tour of the newly liberated Doma? I'd be interested to hear how the people are faring in their own words, and it's not as if we'll be missed here. Or will we? Leon, a moment if you would. Ah, Yuri, and Asahi, was it? You have some business with Leon? I should have kept my sunglasses on. I didn't think he'd be back so soon. Business? No. Pleasure, my lady. I merely wish to exchange a few words with the famed Slayer of Gods and Champion of Eorzea. It is truly an honor. Excuse me. Such heartfelt admiration. One could almost forget that you're an envoy of the Empire. Oh? Is that so strange? We may have stood on opposing sides in the past, but I see no contradiction in lauding the man who would do battle with our common enemy. And lest you forget, this is my homeland. It would be remiss of me not to at least thank him for containing the threat posed by the Kojin's vile Akon. Even though they didn't even summon it intentionally, it was a total freak accident. We did that actually by accident when we reunited the 3 relics for Susanna. Now, if I may continue, as we speak, Lord Hien deliberates over my proposal, and I would take this time to see the land I once called home. Okay then, wow. Alright, so I guess he does have some attachment to this place, still. Though Lady Yuguri is certain to be a jovial escort, the excursion would be all the more enjoyable for your company, and safer besides. I mean, he called Yuguri an escort, so... No, obviously he didn't mean that kind, I'm just dicking around, you know me. But now he wants me as an escort too. Anyway. Safer, huh? So, damn, he's kind of lightly throwing shade at Yuguri there. Saying she's not strong enough to protect you, but I am? It's a little fucked up. The ambassador has the right of it. He is not like to come to harm with you at his side. Will you join us? Was that her, like, very, very subtle and low-key way of saying I might be tempted to slit his throat or something if he looks at me the wrong way? So he'd probably be safer with you? Although I am quite sure he'll be safe with you, Green. I'll humor the bastard. Sure. It would be my pleasure. In that case, I will join you as well. There is naught else to do until Lord Hien has reached his decision, and I can think of no finer way to learn more about the current state of Doma. Well, then we have a party of 4. It's settled then. The 4 of us shall make a brief excursion through Yangshan. Might we start at the town of Monzen? I would see what has become of Doma Castle. Not gonna like this. Very well, if you will follow me. I mean, it depends on how attached he was, because Doma Castle's fucked! Hey, there they are. Whoa. What that something could be done about these mechanical soldiers? Oh, the big ass dudes with the giant swords? There's one way over there. I'll admit, I was hoping for a more leisurely trip around Yangsha, but if it's a choice between this or listening to my brother rambling on, well, here I am. Okay. Damn, she's always shitting on Alfino, like, constantly. Nay, can this truly be Monzen, home to the cream of Doma's samurai? I had heard that Yatsuyu intended to send some few of our automata here, but only by way of warning. Should not have come to this. Yeah, they destroyed the entire place and they're still here. Indeed, her savagery served only to incense the people and spur them to rise up in protest. It was folly to think such methods of governance could ever prove effective. Yeah, imperialism is not sustainable, like I said yesterday or the day before. The sooner we can begin to make amends for the senseless destruction, the better. Securing supplies and support for the reconstruction effort should not prove difficult, once our nations are formally at peace, of course. Yes, of course. If you would have a better view of what remains of the castle, we must proceed through the ruins. I like how they look different than the regular, like, Iron Giant enemies that you see in, back in Eorzea. They're stylized for Doma. And their names are different, too. But they're basically the same enemy type. Lord Hien would often come here to gaze at the castle. He was but one of many to take inspiration from His Majesty. That's when he came up with how to improve Alfino's plan for invading the castle, so yeah, I'd say it worked. But now the castle's gone. All that's left is his outer wall. At least from this perspective. I don't believe for one moment that he came to see the sights of Yangsha. The question, what did he come for? Something to do with his sister, obviously. I would guess. It is a travesty. A travesty. I remember the keep being so beautiful. In the light of the setting sun, one would swear it was aflame. That's actually a good way of putting it, yeah. The way the top of the structure was shaped and everything. It would look like a fire. And the crimson hue of the setting sun, yeah. I would say so. That's a good way of, A lot of themes about sunset here. It is indeed a doleful spectacle. Mayhap we will rebuild it one day. When we have finished helping our people to rebuild their lives. Spoken like a true popularis. The needs of the people must of course come first. Speaking of whom, would you be opposed to my seeing how they live firsthand? The village of Namai is but a short journey from here, if I'm not mistaken. By river, yes. If you will follow me, I will ready our boat. This excursion has proved to be more relaxing than I expected. That's what you wanted, right? Leisurely. It has been some time since I last visited Namai. Yet Issei often visits the Enclave with young Azami, so we do not want for news from the village. Ready to cast off? Yeah, I guess so. Don't know what the hell's about to happen, but sure.
Get back! I'm warning you!
Someone's in trouble. Are you all right?
Hi.
What do they want with you?
Yuki, and you lot too. I don't know. We were returning from the Enclave when they came at us.
It seems they won't go quietly.
And neither will we.
Maybe they're just pissed about what happened with Yotsu and everything at the Red Sea. Or the Ruby Sea. Red Sea, Ruby Sea, same thing, right? Kill them all! Yep, they want to kill us. Alright, you asked for it. I will not let you harm these innocents. Tell him, Asahi. That'll make him stop.
It is nothing.
I grow tired of these games. Where are reinforcements? All this for 2 children? What do they even want with them? That's a good question. They mean to overwhelm us. See to the reinforcements, quickly! That means he's not gonna die that quickly. Alright. Now, aim for the younglings! Oh shit! Oh, he said stand in front of them will bear the brunt of it. Yeah. Soaking a bit. Oh shit, they're already dead. Alright. The battle music for this is so quiet right now.
The art of my forebears.
If they would call for reinforcements, and so shall we. You guys do shadow clones or something? Hold your ground. I will try to draw away the reinforcements. Okay.
Taste my steel!
Group them together. Oh.
That seems to be the last of them. You have nothing to fear, child. You are safe now.
Thank you, sir.
You saved us again. Thank you. If you're ever passing by our village, look us up. You'll always be welcome.
Thank goodness we arrived when we did.
Indeed. But what could have prompted the Red Kojin to stray so far from the Ruby Sea?
I presume these are the sellswords hired by Yotsu. If so, the answer is simple. Desperation. Bereft of imperial employment, they seek other means to line their coin purses. Another sad legacy of the Empire's mismanagement.
The empire to which you have sworn allegiance.
Must you always be so pointed? If we are to bring about lasting change, we must look beyond narrow allegiances.
No shit.
You have every right to doubt me, but in time, I hope you will come to see that we share a common goal. You and yours have fought fiercely to change the Empire from without, but if we are to end the cycle of conflict, the Empire must change from within. Am I wrong?
I can be like a fucking nihilist and... Well, not really a nihilist, but like just sort of... Just be like, they'll never change or something like that. Yeah, I like this answer better though. I was looking for a phrase, it wasn't nihilist, something else, but I can't think of it right now. Not about that. True form can only come from within.
I knew you would understand. You have witnessed such change firsthand, after all, during your time in Ishgard.
Where do you think my answer came from? But, for that change to occur, that person or entity has to be willing to change. What we doubt is whether you guys actually want to change or not. The Empire, I mean. The Red Kojin's presence here does not bode well. We must inform Lord Hien. Indeed. Quite the swordsman, isn't he? I wonder, did the Empire train him to kill before or after appointing him ambassador? Good question. And a very important one, actually. Excuse me. Dear me, I had hoped to convey my views on our nation's shared hopes under more peaceable circumstances. Yet this regrettable little interlude did afford me a chance to see the famed hero of Eorzea in action, and few Imperial soldiers can say that. At least, few who live to tell the tale. True enough. Not proud of it, but it is what it is. How could I ever be proud of killing other people, right? Especially after the job, the Dark Knight job quest line. Y'all remember that a few streams ago? Excuse me. Well, after that little ordeal, I believe it may be time for us to return to the Enclave. Return, my lord? But what of Namai? You seem so eager to observe the villagers going about their daily lives. To be frank, I still am. But I rather doubt the good people of Namai would take kindly to the sight of a man in Imperial uniform with blood still dripping from his blade. Even in your company, my presence would only prove a distraction. True. Fret not, however. Thanks to the three of you, I have seen a great deal more than I otherwise would, and with any luck, Lord Hien will have finished considering my proposal by the time we return. A guilty conscience. Let's just go to the Doman Enclave. Ah! Itchy nose, why now? Maliki. I forgot to do my bow. Whatever. I understand you served as the ambassador's escort. My thanks. I trust you will inform Lord Hien of our encounter with the Red Kojin. If we are to deter them from encroaching on Yangsha, our response must be swift and decisive. True. By the way, that whole thing that I started doing where I bow to, like, when I see a player with, like, a female character and I bow to be, like, all gentleman-like, I actually got that idea from a very long time ago. I did a roulette, and I saw this. One of my party members was, what was the? It was a Lalafell named Howdy Ma'am or something like that. I was like, what the hell is this about? And I checked his search info. It was a male Lalafell that just said howdy, like how you doing, ma'am, or something like that. And it explained that he like tips his hat towards ladies when he runs into them, right? Trying to be like some suave like cowboy type of Lalafell. And sure enough, at the end of the dungeon run, he did actually do that to the female characters in our party. He tipped his. He had a macro. Okay, he actually had like the emotes here. He actually had a macro set up for an emote where he does like. I don't know if there's actually an emote for tipping your hat, or if I think there is, or something that looked like that basically. And then they would write in the text box. It would say like you can say like howdy ma'am basically or something like that, and it says so and so tips their hat to you, and he was just like, he did that to all the ladies in the party and then left. I was like, that's great. I love that. I love when people get creative with roleplay like that. And that, yeah, you might say that's not the most creative thing, but like, it's funny, but in the sort of elegant way, low key. I kind of like that. So that's where I got the inspiration to do that myself. Just bow. Just bow when I see a lady and just be like, "Milady," and then walk off. Try and be a proper gentleman, you know? Anyway, back to this. Did you see the sincerity in his eyes when he spoke with Azami? I feel strange saying this, but what if he truly has come to sue for peace? Excuse me, Jesus. When he spoke with the guy we saved, yeah, I see what you mean. He was genuinely concerned for them. Thank you again for agreeing to join me. If not for your aid, the Kojin may well have overwhelmed us. They did send a lot, yeah. For just some common villagers for some reason. Pray go on ahead. Lord Hien is expecting you. I will remain without and keep watch over a guest. Well, we had best not keep him waiting. Good luck out here with him, Yugri. Lord Hien was quite insistent that you join him. Pray go on ahead. I will keep watch over the ambassador. Good thanks. You are expected, sir. Shall I show you in? Please. And that reminds me, I even do it with dudes too. When I pass by, like, especially if they're like elegantly dressed, like sophisticated looking dudes like that dude right now. In groups, because I like saying it. Gentlemen. I should do that too. Be like, ladies, gentlemen, keep bowing to everybody. Just be all gentleman-like. Judging by the sparkle in Alfino's eyes, their discussion was riveting. How sorry I am to have missed it. Your sarcasm is noted, Alizer. It is deep. Master Alfino has shared with us his knowledge of the Acons and reminded us of the threat they pose in so doing. It is strangely comforting to know the Empire shares our concern. Right. Feeling refreshed, I trust? We have considered the ramifications of this proposal from every angle, and I believe Lord Hien has reached a decision. What do you got, Lord Hien? What's going on? Welcome back, my friend. Yugiri tells me you accompanied her and Asahi on the tour of Yansha. I had hoped you might take the opportunity to recover from your exertions at Sakazuki. But I gather your time was well spent. Until the ambassador affords Yugiri a chance to make a full report, however, I must rely on you to supply the details. So please, tell us how it all unfolded. Well, they showed up, tried to kill 2 innocent villagers, kept telling more. Don't know why. The Red Belgian? Have there been any other such incidents since the liberation? Not that I am aware of. If they are planning some new venture here in Yansha, we will need to increase patrols. In any event, I'm indebted to you for fighting them off. But tell me, and don't be modest, was Asahi truly the first to leap to the youngster's aid? He was. I was quick to doubt him when we first met, but his desire to save them seemed quite genuine. It's possible he truly believes what he's saying. In the time I've known you, you have always been an excellent judge of character. What do you make of the ambassador? Honestly, I still don't think he can be trusted. How do we know that he isn't just, like, faking it to try and gain our favor? It's too soon. We've only just met the guy. And the question of what his true intention may be remains. Regardless of his aim, I am resigned to playing his game. For now, at least. Well, forswearing summoning should be simple enough, considering you never dabbled in it in the first place, which just leaves a somewhat thornier question of how to police the Red Kojin. It was with that very question in mind that I sought Alfino's counsel. Thanks to his knowledge of the Acons and the rituals used to invoke them, I believe we've identified a workable solution. As you will recall, Susanna was summoned forth using the power of relics locked away in the Kojin's treasure vault on the Isle of Zeki. Though said relics remain there to this day, it is all but certain that the act of summoning exhausted their stores of ether, making subsequent summonings impossible. Assuming that is the case, preventing the Primal's return rests on denying the Red Kojin the means to amass new stores of ether, either by the acquisition of crystals or the relics they are wont to collect. For this, I plan to enlist the aid of our friends, the Blue Kojin. Since Doma's liberation, we have forged closer bonds with Bunchin and his people, and with their support, I am quite confident we can keep the Red from obtaining what they require to call upon this Susanna. And what of the prisoners? They will be exchanged as agreed, and I will give full credit to Asahi for the success of the transaction. If there is aught we can do to help the Popularis garner favor, I mean to see it done. Well thought out. But first I have some unfinished business to attend to. Would you all come with me? Yes, of course, but what manner of business? A past mistake which I would see put right. One which has weighed heavy on my mind. Wonder what's up. Oh, here they are.
I had her brought here in secret while the three of you kept our guest company.
I have to say, she does look cute in a funny way doing that. Eating the dango.
The world has not been kind to you, it is true. But that does not excuse your sins. You should be at the bottom of the river. Yet here you are, the living, breathing proof of my failure. A failure for which I would now make amends.
What did I do? I don't remember. Was it really so terrible? Tell me, please! What did I do?
You speak of sins, my lord. But at whose feet do those sins lie? With the soldiers who committed the crimes, or those who commanded them to do so? With both, I would say. For all have a conscience, and all must choose. But with no memory of who she is, or what she has done, what sin remains to be cleansed?
You ask that I show mercy.
I ask why the heavens saw fit to deny me my rest. Why Yotsuyu was spared not only death, but the bitter memories of her life.
He's grown fond
You
of her.
truly think it the will of the Kami? If so, her life is not mine to take. It is yours to safeguard. Come the hour of the exchange, if her memories have not returned, she may remain here in Doma to live out her days as Tsuyu. But if they do, the Garleans shall have their viceroy. Though the people will protest, they will come to accept my decision when they have been reunited with their loved ones.
Thank you, my lord.
Now then, I believe we have kept our guest waiting long enough. Did Gorsetsu not seem strange to you?
No, I noticed.
His sympathy for your Tsuyu apart, I mean.
Oh, something else.
I know his powers of endurance only too well, but after all he has suffered, even he should not be on his feet. He puts on a brave face for our sakes, but it would not surprise me if he lacked the strength to raise his blade. Though I suppose if he and Yotsu are to enjoy a life of peace and quiet, he will have little use for it. It falls to us to shape that future, one in which he need never again set foot on the battlefield.
Sounds good to me, yeah. I think Ian knew how that was going to play out. He was probably just wanting to confirm it. Gosetsu definitely has feelings for Yotsuyu now. And yeah, obviously I don't mean something like romantic. But you know, he obviously wants to take care of her like she's a child, basically. He gives off that vibe. In many ways she is. It's like, what he was implying is that she's got a chance for a fresh start, and that's obviously why Hien said what he did after Gosetsu spoke his piece. She has a chance for a fresh start, yeah. But I mean, looking at where she is, that's gonna be tough, because everybody here still remembers who she is and what she did. A guilty conscience. A chance to make amends. Well, as long as her memory of who she was doesn't come back. I couldn't say if Tsuyu's predicament is the will of the kami, but Gosetsu certainly seems convinced. Yeah. It would seem Lord Hien has at last reached a decision. The uncertainty in his eyes has given way to resolve. I had no idea Yotsuyu's return weighed so heavily on Lord Hien's mind. Why wouldn't it? Rise of a new sun. With Yotsuyu safely in Gosetsu's care, all that remains is to answer Asahi's proposal. I realize other matters demand your attention, but I would ask that you stay a while longer to see this business through. Yeah, no problem.
My apologies. Our deliberations took longer than expected.
Think nothing of it. The time afforded me the opportunity to go on a rather rousing excursion through Yansha. You have reached a decision, then?
We are willing to cooperate with you in combating the Icon threat, and also in the exchange of prisoners. Assuming you accept our conditions, of course. As you know, your sister is in our care. Due to certain complications, however, we are hesitant to release her into your custody.
Complications?
She was inside Doma Castle when it collapsed. Though she survived, she remembers nothing of her past life, not even her name. To clarify, she is in our care not as a prisoner, but as a vulnerable citizen of Doma.
Are you saying you refuse to release her?
Not at all, if her memory returns before the appointed hour.
And if not, what exactly? You will accommodate her here in Doma?
Well, I sincerely doubt she will be of any great strategic value to the Empire. She spends her days daydreaming of Dango.
Yeah.
Dango. How dreadful. Very well. In light of our recent misstep in Sakazuki, it seems only fair that I show you the same understanding you have shown us. Though I do have one small request. Regardless of Yotsuyu's value to the Empire, she is yet my sister. Before I leave, might you permit me to speak with her in private?
Of course. Perhaps you could even bring her a plate of dango. She would be most pleased.
She can't get enough of that shit.
Yugiri will see you to her chambers.
I mean, she does make me kind of crave it a little bit. I want to try it out. Alright, so what are we doing? Forgive me, my lord, but... has he not been gone over long? Perhaps I should... calm yourself, Kosetsu. I understand you're concerned, but we have to wait. He deserves that much. It is his sister, yeah. I am sorry to have kept you all waiting. Thank you for your understanding. Long did I dream of this reunion, but never did I imagine it would be so joyless. A part of me hoped your stories of her condition were just that. But alas, it is as you say. Suyu, do you remember anything of this man? Anything at all? No. I am a stranger to her. That much was clear to me from a single look. I leave her in your care. As you wish. Now, if you'll excuse me, my superiors are long overdue a report. They will be elated to hear of our agreement, of that I have no doubt. As for the exchange itself, once I have obtained the relevant permissions, I will arrange for your people to be relieved of their various duties and sent here to Yangsha. This will take time, of course. Of course. You may rest assured your soldiers will be well cared for until you return. Your return, my bad. We will also begin taking steps to better counter the threat of the Kojin and their icon. Before you take your leave, there is one other matter. I am informed it was you who took the lead in rescuing 2 young Domans from a band of Kojin sellswords. I have not yet had the time to thank you properly. Please, there is no need to thank me. I only did what anyone would do under the circumstances. Fortunately, I was in good company at the time. Thanks. The blight of the Red Kojin is of the Empire's making. Were it not for our transgressions, those children would not have needed saving. Excuse me. The people of Doma have suffered enough, my lord, and I promise to do all in my power to spare them further pain, be it at the hands of the Kojin or indeed the Empire. I pray the Empire will see things as you do. There may yet be hope for us after all. Or there may yet be hope for us all, I think he meant, is what he said. Might have read that too fast. Until we meet again. Gosetsu. As before, I leave Ryotsuyu to you. I just tripped over my words there. I invite the rest of you to join me outside. Let's treat Asahi to a proper farewell. Okay. If Yotsu is to remain in Doma for good, we cannot keep her confined to this manor. The people must be made to see that she is no longer the monster they remember. True enough. If my dear sister's memory does not return, I pray you will take good care of her. Do my best. Lord Hien has made a wise decision. Our superiors will be pleased. I wondered if the sight of her stepbrother might bring Yotsuyu back to her senses, but mayhap nothing will. Nevertheless, we must continue to watch her until we can be certain that her condition is permanent. Yeah, things like this, it's hard to tell. If only our previous encounters with the Empire had been this cordial. Here's to the future, I suppose. Yeah. Without the threat of Imperial attack hanging over our heads, we may devote our energies to dealing with the Red Kojin, and then there will be nothing left to impede Doma's restoration. True. The Ambassador's airship awaits at Castrum Fluminus. Let us be off.
I wish you a safe journey.
This has been a most enjoyable visit. I look forward to our next meeting. Maxima, would you take the others and see that all is ready for our departure? I simply cannot leave without first giving thanks to the Warrior of Light for accompanying me through Yansha.
Alright. What do you have to say? It's alright, Ian. I'll hear him out.
Mark me, savior of the savages. There will be a reckoning.
You bastard!
Give me that fucking look, will you? See what the hell he's really thinking about.
You've nowhere left to run, traitor!
Ignorant savages! Killing us will avail you naught. For every Imperial you cut down, 1,000 more will come. Abandon this foolish endeavor and surrender. You may yet serve our righteous cause.
How dare you speak of righteousness? You who forsook kith and kin to serve conquerors! Be glad I grant you this mercy. What in the...
Reinforcements? No, just one! Cut him down!
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
This one is promising. Who remains to offer us resistance?
A host of rebels led by Lord Cayenne hold the enclave across the river.
Lord Cayenne.
The king of the former king of Dorma, sir. They say he is one of the greatest swordsmen alive.
Ian's father.
Is that what they say?
Who was that?
You'd never met him before yet.
Surely you jest. That was Xenos Galvus, legatus of the 12th, the Crown Bloody Prince. I heard he was strong, but that was frightening.
That was Lord Xenos.
Sounds like Cayenne was meant to be basically like Cyan from FF6. Maybe that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. I don't get to see him, but it seems to be implied.
Everything you are, your power, even your face, it vexes me.
You bastard!
Fuck you too. Not like I like your face that much either. Prick.
Go on. Lash out like the beast you are at an emissary and jeopardize the newfound peace between Dorma and the Empire. My lord was destined to lead us unto a glorious new age. Your light is nothing to his radiance. I will cherish this moment, lock it away within my heart, until the day we meet again.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious he was full of shit, and he just confirmed it. But only to me, of course. You can't expect me not to tell everyone else what he just said to me, though. Which means he doesn't care. Of course, I'm too level-headed to lash out at him like he was trying to bait me to do, but still. Obviously, he's planning something else. Which, again, is why he would say something like that, knowing full well that I would speak about what he just said to me to everybody else. It's because it doesn't matter. It doesn't, even if I tell everyone else what he just did, it doesn't affect whatever he's planning. Which is, not good. Still, I was like, I don't like your face. I was like, I don't like yours either, prick. Why the frown? Did he say something to upset you? Huh. Yeah, you could say that. He's a bitch, though. Don't worry about it. I ain't backing down from the likes of him. And kiss my ass. Are you quite well? You looked as if you were about to faint in the ambassador's arms for a moment there. Oh, it's just because I looked into his past, but... I thought perhaps now we could be at ease, but your expression suggests otherwise. What troubles you, Leon? What troubles me is that Asahi's a little bitch who's talking shit. And you know what they say, talk shit, get hit. I have a mind to hit him, but I can't.
You look troubled, my friend. Was it something he said?
He's a prick.
Of all the memories to witness.
I had my doubts about him, but I would never have guessed he was a disciple of Xenos. My lord.
Calm yourself, Yugiri. I set no store by him or his enlightened brethren. But if by treating with them there is even the faintest hope, we might secure the return of our conscripted brothers and sisters, I must play this game. After the way I risked their lives in the rebellion, I owe them that much.
My lord, you bear no blame for their fate.
If not blame, then responsibility. They were prisoners, and still I chose to fight, knowing they could be executed in retaliation. But now we have a chance to bring them home. If it means bargaining with the monster, so be it.
My lord.
Besides, I think he likes me, which is more than some can say.
Oh yeah, because he hates my rotten guts for killing his, you know? Leon? Oh, don't worry about it, Leon. He's a bitch. Don't worry about him. I was gonna say for killing his, I don't know, I was looking for a word for it, but basically the person he adored the most, which was Xenos. I mean, you saw the way he looked at him in that flashback after he saved his life. He was like a giddy schoolgirl looking up at him. Oh, and that flashback was obviously before, it was... When did this happen? It was, somewhere during A Realm Reborn, right? And they mentioned that, or maybe it was between that and Heaven's Word, I think, when, the war of, like, who would be the next Emperor of Garlemald had just ended, and I can't remember the lore, the history too well right now, but, like, Doma had gotten the courage to rise up against Garlemald because they thought they had a chance because of something that was happening with Garlemald. So they tried, they took a stand to get their, you know, their liberation, but then Xenos shut that shit down hard and killed Lord Kyan. Maybe that's how you pronounce Cyan from FF6. I don't know. I may never get to see him, but something tells me if they ever did show him, maybe they would model him after that character, but who knows. Maybe it's just meant to be like a loose reference, honestly. I feel like that's what it is. Hion's father, anyway. But back to this. It makes no sense. Why would he bother keeping up the pretense for so long? Only to drop it right before the very end. Perhaps he no longer thought it necessary, having secured Doma's cooperation in the prisoner exchange. That. Or something else is afoot. If he truly is a disciple of Xenos, 'tis possible emotions simply got the better of him. Remaining calm around the man who slew his lord will have taken its toll. That also, that's pretty much what I was saying, yeah. Whatever the explanation, now's not the time for hasty reprisals. We shall proceed as planned. The Red Kojin must be placed under surveillance and the Garlean prisoners made ready for the exchange. But you need not concern yourself with the details. Leave the affairs of Doma to us. When the hour of the exchange draws near, we will call for you. Fair enough. I should certainly hope so. Whatever the Empire's true intent, we would be on hand to play our part, either to defend Doma or to help us usher in the lasting peace. I thought we might use this time to return to Eorzea, but given the volatility of the situation, mayhap it would be best if we remained in Kugani. Agreed. Between Yotsuyu's amnesia and Asahi's dubious agenda, I'd say we have ample reason to remain in the neighborhood. If anything should happen, anything at all, you must send for us at once. Oh, I will. On that you have my word. Charting a path through this sea of troubles promises to be difficult enough. I am not so proud as to attempt the feat alone. To Kugane, then. Tataru and the others must know of what transpired here. If what you saw of the ambassador is an indication of his true nature, this prisoner exchange may not be what it seems. In fact, I'm beginning to wonder if your encounter with the Red Kojin was more than mere happenstance. Trust me, I wondered that too after you guys told me they had made no transgressions before this, and they just happened to do that when he comes into the neighborhood. And he's the first one to leap into action? I'm starting to get vibes of like false flag terrorism here. That kind of thing. Soon we shall see if Asahi is true to his word. If not, I will be glad to cut out that silver tongue of his. True enough. Well, save some for me, you agree? Because after that little bitch had the nerve to talk to me like that, for whatever his reasons, I have in mind to join you in that endeavor. That silver tongue. Greetings, honored sir. Will you be entering the Ruby Bazaar offices? Yeah. I don't envy Lord Hien. So much rests on his decision. Yeah. Since we have naught else to attend to for the moment, perhaps this would be a good opportunity to look into the present state of Garlem. Though I should probably speak with Tataru first. That's right, she wants to give you a good talking to after yesterday. Welcome back, Leon. We heard the good news about Kosetsu. I knew you'd find him. Now you gotta give Alfie a stern talking to for what he did with that samurai blade of his, right? Mine. It seems you're all in quite a predicament. Well, should we receive any urgent missives from Doma, rest assured you will be the first to know of it. Yes, of course. We're pursuing a number of ventures to replenish our coffers, but I suppose that all can wait if any urgent news should come through the office. Ah, about that. I wish to apologize, Tataru. It was reckless of me to make such a purchase without first consulting you. You may be certain, however, that I mean to reimburse the Scions, even if it means drawing upon my personal funds. That's very thoughtful of you, but I'm sure it won't come to that. If Soroban's business proposition is as promising as it sounds, Leon should have no difficulty wiping the red from our ledger. Yeah, now it's up to me? Great. I always get fucking swindled into this shit, cleaning up other people's messes. That's why Frey did what he did. He tried to put a stop to this fucking nonsense. Of being people's errand boy and all that shit. Anyway. Forgive me, Leon. It would seem I have unwittingly heaped my financial troubles upon you. I swear I will pay you back. Though I fear I will struggle to cobble together anything of monetary value. Knowledge I can gather in abundance. To start, I plan to investigate the divisions forming within the Empire. Mayhap Riol and his associates have heard something on the subject. Regardless, the more we know about the politics of Garlemald, the better our chances of predicting the Imperial's next move, which might yield you an advantage on the day of the prisoner exchange. Knowing what we do of Asahi's apparent resentment towards you, I cannot say what he hoped to gain from it. But if there is even the faintest chance that a lasting peace could be forged between Doma and the Empire, what choice have we but to try? Lord Hien had the right of it. Asahi may very well be a monster, but we must play his game. For now. Unfortunately, yeah. Rise of a New Sun. And that's the end of 4.2. It was a little shorter than 4.1. Probably because they added more side content in this one, so less MSQ as a exchange. Arranging the prisoner exchange proved easier than I thought. Oh. Alright. Up close. Yes, my lord will be most pleased. Everything is going according to plan. Glad he's, proving my theory about the soft and hard right wing. Seems no different for them. He really represents the populares. He's no different than the Optimatus in this. In this case, he directly supports him.
Can you truly remember nothing? Nothing at all?
I thought none of it was going to be voiced since that first part wasn't, but I guess I was wrong.
Were we friends?
Yes. We were good friends, you and I. In fact, I've brought you a gift. I pray that one day soon, as you gaze into that mirror, you will remember the woman staring back at you.
It's so pretty. Who are you? Who are you?
Meanwhile, in the Imperial capital...
How are you feeling, my lord?
Fine, now leave me.
He's actually alive. Fuck!
Fuck!
And that's the cliffhanger for yet another 3 months, huh? Shit. I don't envy people that are caught up having to wait. Soon that's gonna be me. But, well, that's why there are, you know, other video games and other content in this game to do, right? To pass the time. Speaking of which, today was a Capcom showcase for what they announced back at the, PlayStation whatever they call it. And yeah, it seems like they updated the graphics for Resident Evil 7, 2 Remake, 3 Remake. I think that's it. And they finally announced and talked a little bit more about the Resident Evil Village DLC that they had promised. As well as gave more info on Resident Evil 4 Remake. Not too much, but yeah, showed a little bit more. So that got me pretty excited earlier today. It's also why it's another late stream, by the way. I'm about to wrap up if you can't tell, because yeah, it's about my bedtime already. Another short stream like yesterday. Feels bad, man. But it was because I watched the Capcom thing. So today, it's June 13th of 2022. For those wondering what the hell I'm talking about. But yeah, so I'm excited for all that stuff because I'm like, there we go. We have our content for after this marathon is over. And after the post-marathon content, of course. I don't want to spoil too much about the roadmap I have for the videos I'm going to record and the video games I plan on playing after this marathon is over, of course. But But the roadmap does include, obviously, revisiting Resident Evil at some point. It was what I started my YouTube and Twitch channel on, basically. So yeah, of course I'm going to revisit those. Can't wait to see the new graphics when we go back to those games. And, you know, the DLC for Village and other stuff hitting on, in October. October 28th, right? And then Resident Evil 4 in March, just around the corner from there. Well, kind of. Not really. Still quite a ways off, but still. So yeah, there will be that. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, hopefully tomorrow, since there won't be anything like that happening anymore, there's no events that I know of, at least right now, that I'll be like watching or anything. I should hopefully be able to get back to my normal-ish streaming schedule, meaning where I start a little earlier than this, not at the last minute, and do just like a short 1.5 hour stream. But yeah, since this was the end of 4.2, and it's about 10 minutes before I like to start getting ready for bed, this is where we'll stop. So, with that said, as always, you know what, I'm gonna go outside, because if I try to log out here, we'll have to wait 20 seconds. You have to have the moon icon, a half moon icon right there to affirm that you're in a sanctuary and get the rest of the XP bonus or whatever and can log out instantly. So yeah. I like the back of the mirror that he gave, his sister, Yotsuyu. The mirror she was holding there, it had a moon shape, like a half moon shape on it, right? This looked pretty from behind. Guessing they can't really make mirror effects though, so we weren't able to see it from the front, but it's a mirror. It's just a reflection on the front. But yeah, the backside looked pretty elegant. I like that. But yeah, so I'll just go ahead and log out here. So, as always, thank you all very much for watching. Thank you to Aiden Lorcan for coming to keep me company. And for all of you watching in the future and supporting me in the future on YouTube and Twitch, I appreciate you all just as much. And I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and good night. But, as always, please also take care of yourselves, look after each other, and stay safe out there, alright, my friends? Until next time, well, I already said good morning, afternoon, and all that other stuff, so, until next time, peace. That Asahi, man. When I took out Xenos, I guess I caused them a lot of,
emotional damage!
Too bad it only came to me now to use that. Alright, have a good one, everyone. See you later.
I got